Have you ever felt your boundaries being violated, as if respect is a luxury that can be ignored at will? Sarcastic remarks, dismissive actions, and attitudes that belittle your time and feelings. Should you just smile and let it slide? Absolutely not. If you're tired of dealing with disrespectful people, this video is for you. Today, I'll share some straightforward, even bold, ways to handle disrespect while maintaining your composure and self-respect. Get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to set clear boundaries and show everyone where your line is drawn. Let's dive in. Solution number 1, the art of silence. Have you ever experienced the power of a silent stare? It might sound simple, but it's one of my go-to techniques. When faced with rudeness or disrespect, nothing unsettles the other person more than a calm, steady gaze. Those who like to provoke often seek a reaction. They want you to stammer, get flustered, or even angry, so they can drag you into their drama. But when you simply look at them, expressionless, the power dynamic shifts instantly. You might wonder, just a look? Let me tell you a story. At a family gathering, a relative kept criticizing everything, from food and decorations to everyone's stories. When he made a disrespectful remark about me, I didn't argue or react. I just looked him straight in the eye, silent as a stone. He started to stammer, became uncomfortable, and eventually fell silent. From then on, he didn't bother anyone. That silent stare was more effective than any words. It not only stopped his behavior immediately, but also made him treat me with more respect, as if he realized I wasn't someone to be easily dismissed. Sometimes, the strongest way to protect yourself is to say nothing at all. When you look someone in the eye with a silent, steady gaze, you're sending a clear, wordless message. I'm not playing your game. I won't be dragged into your pointless conflicts. I deserve respect. The natural reaction to disrespect is to defend, explain, or worse, stay silent to avoid a scene. But the silent stare isn't aggressive. It's an assertion that you won't be drawn into their negativity. Those who disrespect others often do so unconsciously, without being challenged. But when you look at them with a silent, steady gaze, you're like a mirror reflecting their actions. The magic of the silent stare isn't just about stopping their behavior. It also strengthens your self-respect. Your stillness and composure remind you that their words and actions can't shake you. I used to be the type to brush off rude remarks or try to explain myself when questioned, but honestly, it just drained me. Learning to simply look at someone and let the silence fill the space was a game changer. It's a small act of defiance, a silent but powerful declaration of self-respect. So, if someone is rude, crosses your boundaries, or tries to belittle you, try the silent stare. Just look at them, letting them feel the weight of your calm. You'll be surprised by their discomfort and your own strength. The silent stare says, I respect myself too much to be drawn into your negativity. And that's a message worth sending. Solution number 2, free yourself from the burden of explanation. Do you ever feel tired of having every personal decision of yours questioned? Why did you choose this? Why didn't you go to that event? Why did you quit your stable job? It seems everyone thinks they have the right to know the reasons behind all your choices. But the truth is, you don't owe anyone an explanation about your life. The decisions are yours, and you don't have to justify them. It might sound unconventional, but let's be honest. Do those who ask really care about your reasons? Or do they just want to judge, pressure you into doubting yourself, or simply feel better about their own choices by making you feel confused? Don't play that game. When you stop explaining, you regain control, asserting that your life isn't a topic for discussion or evaluation. Why do people feel entitled to explanations? Often, it's because your decisions challenge their worldview. Maybe you dare to take risks they're too afraid to try. Or perhaps you dare to step out of your comfort zone, where they feel secure. But just because your independence makes them uncomfortable, doesn't mean you have to alleviate that discomfort. Your life isn't a public service announcement, and you don't owe anyone explanations. I remember when I decided to change careers, leaving a stable job to pursue my passion. Even though it came with greater risks, People reacted as if I had just announced I was going to Mars. Everyone asked, why give up a stable job? Initially, I tried to explain my passion and plans, but the more I explained, the more I was questioned and doubted myself. Then one day when someone asked, I simply replied, because I want to. No details, no explanations. And that felt amazing. The silence that followed spoke volumes. They didn't know how to react because I had taken away their right to question me. And eventually they stopped asking. That's the beauty of stopping explanations. It frees you when you stand firm in your truth, knowing that your decisions are valid simply because you made them. You stop wasting energy explaining and start living your life fully. There's a deeper lesson here. Your life doesn't need audience approval. Not every decision needs to be analyzed or approved by others. When you stop explaining, you're declaring, I'm confident in my choices. I don't need your approval. Think about it. When was the last time you saw a truly confident person meticulously explain their decisions to others? Probably never, because those who master their own lives don't seek external validation. They know the only approval that matters is their own. I used to be like that, trying to explain everything with a PowerPoint presentation just to get support. But then I realized the more I explained, the more I doubted myself. So I set a rule for myself. If someone asks about my decision, I'll give a short answer, 1 or 2 sentences. If they try to question further, I'll smile and move on. And you know what? Life became so much lighter. The more I stopped explaining, the more confident I became in my choices. So I challenge you. Next time someone asks about your choice, resist the urge to explain. Just say, because I want to, or it's the right choice for me, and let the silence speak. You'll be surprised at the power of that simple statement. You'll feel stronger, more in control, and more peaceful. And the best part is, you'll realize that your choices are valid simply because you made them, not needing anyone else's approval. Before we move on to the next solution, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you love this kind of content, comment, love this wisdom. Let's continue learning together. Solution number 3, create distance. Protect your peace of mind. Do you ever feel that no matter how hard you try, there are people who disregard your value and violate your personal boundaries? Here's a harsh truth. Not everyone deserves a special place in your life. If someone consistently disrespects you, one of the wisest choices is to create distance. This doesn't mean harboring resentment or overreacting, but rather showing self-respect, protecting your energy and your inner peace. Creating distance isn't about being cold or ignoring others, but making wise choices about how you spend your time and invest your emotions. Imagine your life as a private club with tightly controlled access. Not everyone gets a VIP pass. If someone constantly oversteps your boundaries, leaving you exhausted or uneasy, why keep them close? Creating distance helps you see things more clearly, without the haze of emotional manipulation or guilt. Consider this. When you allow those who disrespect you to remain in your orbit, you're inviting them to an emotional buffet where they freely criticize, judge, and belittle you. And then we wonder why we always feel drained, anxious, and disappointed in ourselves. Creating distance from these people is an act of self-protection, safeguarding your mental health, preserving your peace, and making room for those who truly appreciate and cherish you. I remember a friend who never missed an opportunity to make sarcastic remarks about my choices, career, relationships, even my taste in music. Initially, I told myself it was just their personality, that I was overreacting. So I kept them close, tried to ignore it, thinking it wasn't a big deal. But over time, those little remarks began to weigh me down, and I realized I was walking on eggshells, always dreading the next criticism. Then one day, I decided to make a change. I didn't make a grand declaration or confront them. I simply started seeing them less. Instead of weekly meetings, I met them only once a month. And you know what? I felt so much lighter and freer. With that distance, I realized how toxic the relationship had become, and that I deserve friends who built me up, not tear me down. Some might say that creating distance is selfish, that they're family, or you've known them for years. You might feel uncomfortable, even guilty, admitting that someone close to you isn't good for you. Society teaches us to be loyal, forgiving, and kind, but at what cost? Here's a little secret. Protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's necessary. You're not an emotional punching bag or a constant source of validation for anyone. Sometimes, the best way to show someone you've had enough is to simply step back. Here's the deeper truth. Creating distance is a powerful reminder that you are your top priority. You don't have to play the role others assign to you, and you don't owe anyone access to your mind, time, or emotions. When you create distance from those who disrespect you, you're declaring that your happiness comes first. And it's not just about self-care. Creating respectful distance also helps you focus on the truly important relationships, the ones that uplift you. Consider this. The more time you spend with those who appreciate you, the more confident and fulfilled you feel. The less time you spend with those who bring you down, the less chance they have to affect your thoughts, mood, and life. I used to feel very guilty about creating distance from those who weren't kind to me, wondering if I was overreacting. But over time, I realized that creating distance isn't just about avoiding negativity. It's also about creating space for growth. So, here's a challenge for you. Think about the people in your life who consistently disrespect you, who make you feel small or drained. Then ask yourself if they truly deserve as much access to you as they currently have. Solution number 4, hold your head high. Assert your self-worth. Have you ever felt someone deliberately trying to belittle you, as if they enjoyed making you feel small? In those moments, you might have heard the familiar advice, hold your head high. It sounds simple, even cliche, but in reality, it's a powerful weapon when facing those who are disrespectful. When someone tries to belittle you, they want to see you bow your head, doubt your self-worth. They want you to step back, submit. But when you stand tall, hold your head high, you're sending a strong message. I know my worth, and no one can diminish it. The power of this gesture lies in confidence. Confidence makes those who like to belittle others uncomfortable. They believe their words and actions can control you, make you waver. But when you refuse to let disrespect affect you, when you walk confidently, you're proving that they have no power over you. You're unbreakable, and that throws them off balance, making them doubt their own power. I remember facing someone who enjoyed mocking me every time we met. The type who's always sarcastic, with jokes that feel like attacks. Initially, I tried to ignore it, but honestly, it bothered me. Every time I was around them, I felt like I had to build a shield to protect myself. Then one day, I decided not to let myself feel small anymore. I walked in head high, and every time they made a sarcastic remark, I just looked at them, smiled, and continued as if nothing happened. Miraculously, they started to back off. They sensed that their words no longer affected me, that I had risen above it all, and their power faded. There's something strangely compelling about holding your head high. It's like an invisible wall, a psychological shield that only you can create. Those who disrespect you don't like this, because it shatters their worldview. They want to believe they can dominate you, that they own a part of you. When you walk confidently, you're breaking their script, shattering the story they've created. Sometimes this might make you a target, but remember that holding your head high isn't for them. It's for you. It's an expression of self-respect, a way of living confidently in your self-worth, without needing anyone's validation. Holding your head high is also a profound message of self-respect. It affirms, no matter what you say or do, I still deserve respect. Self-worth isn't something you wait for others to grant you. It's something you give yourself. You live as if you have everything you need, because that's the truth. Holding your head high reminds you that you're the protagonist in your own story, that others' opinions have no right to make you feel small. Initially, this wasn't easy for me. I used to bow my head, avoid eye contact, shrink myself to avoid getting hurt. when criticized. But over time, I realized that every time I held my head high, every time I refused to let negativity seep into my soul, I felt stronger. It was a reminder that my worth doesn't depend on anyone's approval. I can stand tall and be proud of who I am. Holding your head high isn't just about physical posture. It's also about mental posture. When you walk into a room, walk in as if you belong there. Don't shrink yourself to fit someone else's idea of who you should be. If someone says something unpleasant, ignore it. They don't see the real you. They're just projecting their insecurities onto you. So, next time you face disrespect, take a deep breath, straighten your shoulders, hold your head high, and look them straight in the eye as if to say, I see you, but I'm above this. You'll feel a surge of confidence, a sense of peace knowing that their words have no power over you. Remember, respect starts with you. The more you respect yourself, the less room there is for others' disrespect. Stand tall, embrace your worth, and know that you deserve every bit of confidence. Now you know a few ways to deal with those who don't see your worth. Life is too short to bend yourself to fit the opinions of those who don't appreciate you. Remember, you don't need anyone's permission to stand tall, protect your peace, and live life on your own terms. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful and meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support me in creating more quality content. Thank you very much.